2 hours and I'm hungry and thirsty. This is the investigation of un-American propaganda activities in the United States. Hearings, okay, HRES 282. You may be interested in knowing that we have preachers active in churches who are members of the Communist Party. They are priests in the church who are members of the Communist Party. Religion is forbidden if you're a member of the Communist Party. So in other words, these are not real Christians. This is from Earl Browder, General Secretary of the Communist Party USA, to students at Union Theological Seminary on April 15, 1935. This is from within this document. Mr. Matthews, not today, Mr. Congressman. They have taken over not only the Patriots and the Constitution, but also the Bible. Mr. Starnes, you do not mean to say that the Communist Party today is working in the churches? Mr. Matthews, well, I would boldly say that on the basis of their very widespread appeal to the churches. Mr. Starnes, have you any statements by any leaders of the Communist Party or any documentary evidence that they are trying to infiltrate our churches? I have Earl Browder's book, Communism in the United States, which contains an address which he delivered, and it says you may be interested in knowing that we have preachers active in churches who are members of the Communist Party. So this is a well-known fact. And now we've already spoken about the communist. Your thoughts, Thaddeus?
Yeah, well, it's right out of the Marxist game plan, right? That you infiltrate the organization, you bring it down from within. The history of the United States rooting out communism, of course, has a very bad reputation, a bad name nowadays because of all the people that they went after that probably had nothing to do with communism.
He was right. No, he was right. It was worse than they made out. The problem actually turned out to be far worse. I mean, if you look at, well, what was his name? What was the name of that senator that had the Inquisition that going?
Yeah, name's escaping me at the moment.
Yeah, me too. But he was right. He was not wrong. So I'll skip over this. We've already covered that. Now, notice this: communism and atheism, same root. So I'm going to try and rush through and try and see how far we get. But when the era of communist rule began in Russia in 1917, thanks, Nicholas. I'll keep going for a little bit. Religion was seen as a hindrance to a thriving socialist society, as we saw from his own writings. Karl Marx, the author of the Communist Manifesto, declared, "Communism begins where atheism begins." They're twins. Communism and atheism are twins.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, my object in life is to dethrone God and destroy capitalism. So those are two aims. So these atheists also want to dethrone God. And many of them are socialists. Therefore, they want to destroy capitalism. They want to destroy Western institutions, Western values. McCarthy, Senator McCarthy. No, he was 100% correct. McCarthy understated the problem. Yes, thank you, yeah. So now, remember, we've mentioned that, so we'll continue here. Now, this is Stalin, who was a Christian. This is from Stalin's era, I believe, and this is them throwing Jesus away because they want industry without God, science without God, and technology without God. Right? So, and notice they're active sympathizers in the United States. This goes way back, but believe me, these people were very, very active. Right? And now also the Soviet governments also, they had very active programs in atheism, right? Which are today carried out by the American Humanist Association and others. They are giving up the idea of immortality because they have the chance to lead happy and abundant lives on this earth. They no longer require the moral sanctions of Christianity. The principles of Marxism are providing them with an all-inclusive and integrated code of life. Do we know of a religion that's an all-inclusive and integrated way of life that might have spoken about on this channel, Thaddeus?
Yeah, I think we can think of one.
Yeah, and it unifies the whole country and also the individual. Oh, it's a religion that I know. It starts with an I. I can never think of the name. There's a guy called Muhammad that runs it. That's also a all-inclusive and integrated way of life. Yes, Islam. There's someone in the chat found it. So the anti-religious campaign has been successful, and also notice they had a union of militant atheists, known also as the League of Militant Atheists. And of course they killed people, they hurt people, they imprisoned people, they terrorized people, and I believe there was a guy called Richard Dawkins that said we need to organize as militant atheists. Wonder where Dawkins got that idea. Is he a communist? I gotta wonder. So, you see, its recruits are given systematic instruction in anti-religious theory, and so on and so on and so on. So these socialists, these atheists, all seem to have the same ideas. And notice, the secular humanist religion. Now, this is the World Religions Reader. And
real quick,
yeah?
on that last side, could you say that they are trained in Dawa?
Yes, they are. They are given systematic instruction in anti-religious theory, just as they are in other communist doctrines. They are Dawa trained. Yes. 100%. Thank you for that. Good catch. Good catch. I missed that one. I missed that one. Yes. Yeah,
And strangely, they tend to use the same arguments as the actual Dawa
they do.
people. So
Fascinating. I wonder if it comes from the same source. And notice now, this is the A World Religions Reader. It's an encyclopedia. It's a comprehensive exploration of the teachings and beliefs of the world's living faiths. Oh, and the first one on the list is secular humanism. I thought it's not a religion. Okay.
well, in name maybe, although we're going to see that's not even true.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
in practice, it certainly is.
Okay. Yeah. So now notice, so humanism is considered religion, at least in the book A World Religions Reader. Okay. Secular humanism is on top of the list. It's number one. Now, humanist groups like the ACLU and other liberal groups, okay, they file lawsuits to stop students from praying in cafeterias and stop praying at sports games, and they sue. You can't sing Christmas carols. You cannot show gratitude to God because it's an anti-Christian religion, right? They want to remove religion from schools, Christianity from schools, right? And they're saying, no, we're just using reason. No, 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 no. You're pushing your religion. You're pushing your religion. Now, look, I'm not. This is a different presentation I would have to get into to show the origins of socialism, right? And you will see it was founded as a religion. But I'm trying to give a general overview now. So now humanists do argue that they do not force their beliefs on people. But notice Dr. Noble here. Humanists preach a faith every bit as dogmatic as Christianity. Moral relativism is foundational for secular humanist ethics. Spontaneous generation and evolution are basic to their biology. Naturalism is foundational to their philosophy, and atheism is their theological perspective. Now, here's an interesting thing that maybe you guys don't know. The US Supreme Court has validated the claim that humanism is a religion. The United States Supreme Court has ruled that humanism, and this was at their request, by the way. In 1961, the Supreme Court handed down the blah blah rulings decision regarding a Maryland notary public who was initially disqualified from office because he would not declare belief in God, because he wouldn't swear on the Bible, right? So what is his allegiance? Now we got to ask, what is his allegiance to? Satan?